The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Ho, ho, ho.
Who you calling ho?
You.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm calling you a hoe, which, hey, it does fit because it is almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas. It's 2 days out.
Oh, man. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. So today we're not doing a Weird Wednesday or anything primarily focused on The Walking Dead, though I can't say the conversation might not go there at some point. But today we're just doing a Christmas special in a way. So today we're just going to do kind of a Patreon podcast style podcast. So if you're listening to this and you've never been able to join the Patreon, now you get to kind of hear what our Patreon podcasts sound like. They're a lot more free form. The conversation goes anywhere, and we really don't hold anything back. And I think normally we try to keep language down a bit on the main cast. But I mean, it's not like we're monetizing these anyways. So to hell with it.
Yeah,
anything goes. But yeah, man, are you ready for Christmas?
I don't know, man. I guess. I reckon. I'm just trying to lay low, baby. Just lay low, weather the storm. And, I was kind of hoping. I mean, I wasn't hoping to have COVID. I got tested last week because I was feeling fluish. I was just like, man, like a 2-week quarantine. Wouldn't be obligated to go anywhere, do anything. I was like, man, that would be all right.
Well,
I didn't have it, of course.
Would you have to do that if you had been in contact with someone, or would they have you test, and if you test negative, come right back to work?
Oh yeah, I mean, I tested negative, so it was, it was done. But I was just like, man, if I test positive, like I said, I mean, obviously I don't want to get that, but man, that would have been sweet. Just 2 weeks off, no Christmas obligations, no going anywhere, no bouncing house to house.
Yeah,
just staying at home and getting high.
And reading comics.
And reading comics.
You might even watch a few shows I've suggested. 2 weeks of not being able to go anywhere, man. You'd probably, I guarantee you'd probably start Yellowstone.
Yeah, absolutely I would, man. Absolutely.
With it being Christmas, I thought it'd be fun. I found something on pastbook.com, some weird Christmas facts I figured I would throw at you and see what you think.
Ooh.
So the first one, did you know that Jingle Bells was actually written for Thanksgiving, not Christmas?
What?
Yeah, the song itself was written in 1857 by James Lord Pierpont and published under the title One Horse Open Sleigh. It was supposed to be played in the composer's Sunday school class during Thanksgiving as a way to commemorate the famed Medford sleigh races. Jingle Bells was also the first song to be broadcast from space.
What?
So how about that? Any aliens going through the galaxy might have heard, shh, 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 shh. What's wrong with our spaceship? Do you hear that noise? Something's falling apart.
Huh. Well, that's pretty weird. They sleigh races. We should do that again.
Well, we have to have snow for that.
Yeah.
Sadly, here, I mean, we don't like to give out our exact location, but we're in Virginia, and the part of Virginia that we're in, I mean, we get snow, but it's like last year we got one snow, like one solitary accumulative. When I speak of snow, I'm talking more cumulative. I mean, yeah, sometimes we've already actually had a flurry here about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But nothing accumulated, and it just, melted as soon as it hit the ground. But we had one accumulative snow day last year, and it was gone the next day?
I think it was, yeah. I want to go, up to New England, man. I like the extreme cold.
I don't like the extreme cold, but I do like snow.
Yeah, it just gives me an excuse not to have to go anywhere or do anything.
That's
pretty much what my life revolves around, just having an excuse to, be reclusive.
That's what I say on the radio. I'm like, I love weekends, not because I'm fun, not because I'm exciting, but because I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Right.
And I love to sit on my ass, and the weekends afford me the time I need to sit on said ass.
God, yes.
But no, I do love the snow, and actually, I'm not gonna lie. We both work in radio. We've worked in radio for a while. If you're new to the cast, and with today's technology, when it snows, I'm able to work from home because I actually have about a 40-minute commute to get to work, whereas for JP, it's like 10 minutes max.
Yeah.
So, when it snows, I get to work from home. And I love snow days, love them, because I wake up and look out the window to see if it snowed. I'm up early and it's snow on the ground, so I go and I fix my coffee, stay in my pajamas, walk down to the basement, get my little home studio fired up, and just do it all from home. And then it's fun because I can kind of have a few drinks through the day if I want, because for some reason accumulative snow makes me want to drink.
Ooh.
I don't know why that is. When there's snow on the ground, I want some bourbon or I want some beer.
It's just a good excuse to day drink, man.
Yeah.
Same thing as like having to do yard work on a sunny Sunday afternoon, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I ain't gonna say every now and again I'll put a little bourbon in my coffee, but it's nice. And then it's like, my day ends a lot earlier, and then I can go out. And then last year I was excited when it started snowing because my daughter was not quite a year last year when it first snowed. So it's always fun to let a child experience snow for the first time, and she loved it and got up the next morning and it was pretty much all gone.
All
like,
gone.
Son of a. So I'm hoping this year we will get a little bit of snow so that she can go out and play in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, another kind of sad fact. How do you feel about Rudolph?
He's all right in my book, man.
Okay,
He's all right in my book.
Well, according to Roger Highfield, the author of the book, The Physics of Christmas, from the aerodynamics of reindeer to the thermodynamics of turkey, the world's most famous reindeer has a red nose due to a parasite.
Oh.
However, Rudolph's relationship with his parasite is symbiotic. After all, the red nose illuminates the path through the winter night for the whole reindeer team. So apparently, too, it's a parasitic infection of his respiratory system.
Wait, so they're giving like a scientific explanation for why his nose would glow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At first, I thought you meant like that was the original intention behind the story, like Rudolph was
Like,
originally
wow, that
supposed
was
to be like
detailed.
a dark sci-fi story or something. Have you ever heard of like drunk nose? How like hardcore alcoholics, when they get to be old men, like their nose just gets bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
You
was
said that's an alcoholic thing?
Yeah, I was reading an article my whole life. Like, I'm told it's because you're a drunk. And there's not like medical evidence to completely disprove that. But I was reading an article that said that it might just be like a genetic thing. And there's probably a lot of factors, but.
Oh, man.
Old drunk nose.
I felt so bad. When you work for a radio station, I mean, and we're not like super morning show celebrities around here, but there are people that wake up with you every morning that when they finally meet you, they're excited to meet you because, oh man, I've been listening to you for years. I hear you first thing in the morning, every morning for like the last 10 years. And it's finally good to put a face with the voice. They get kind of excited to see you. And sometimes they want to take a picture or something, but you also, I know you've probably seen this. I've seen it. When you do live broadcasts, like live on location, somebody's having a grand opening or somebody's having some kind of day where they want the public to come out, they'll pay radio stations to come broadcast live from the location and invite people out. Well, you always have those certain people that'll follow you to every location. Like you see them pull up or walking up and you're like, you're thankful they showed up, but at the same time, you're like, it's never like the cool chill people either. Like the people that you genuinely could sit back and chill. A lot of times it tends to be someone that is a little...
They're usually fucking crazy. Yeah.
Well, I don't... Yeah, some are, but I mean, just a little overwhelming at times. Like they'll just stand beside you the entire time and not give you any freaking space. And there was this one guy that used to do that, and he had this big nose, right? And I mean, I know my nose isn't small, but I mean, like it was like... And he was an older man, big nose, but it had some kind of like weird... like growth coming off of it, but it like went up and then went down. It wasn't like a lump. It was just like this big, thick chunk of, I don't know what it was, but it moved around when he moved his head and stuff. Man. And it was coming like right off the end of his nose and kind of like reminded me of like a turkey or something.
Oh.
And I mean, like, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I mean, I know he can't help it. And I've got my physical flaws that I don't like. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, dude, I mean, how much would it cost for you to go get that surgically removed? Because I'll pay for it. if you're going to be at these remotes every time and I have to have that thing flopping inches away from my face. Oh, I just thought about that when we talked about like a big alcoholic nose.
Yeah, get that looked at, bro. I had a guy like that. I only do one now, but for a while I was doing like a breakfast bonanza, like a live broadcast from 8 to 9 o'clock, like 3 or 4 times a week at these different local restaurants. And there was one dude, he got to where he would follow me to at least 1 or 2 a week. And
oh yeah.
He was like, at first I was just like, all right, this guy, he's kind of an eccentric older guy. He's a veteran, really good voice, a musician, but like the more and more he would come out and I'd get to know him, I was like, this dude's fucking crazy. Like he was like in his 50s. He had like a 20-year-old wife that seemed like she was probably mentally handicapped. And I was just like, man, this guy's going to I'm going to wake up in his basement, you know?
Oh man,
never happened.
Our pal at the station could tell you, like we would do. Remember, we were giving away a Harley Davidson, and we would go we had what we call it was a really cool contest. It's actually one of my favorite contests I think I've ever done in radio because, excuse me, when you do radio, unless you're giving away something big, a lot of times it's hard to draw out a big crowd. A lot of times you'll have a few people come out, but I mean most of the time. And also, too, though, to our credit, a lot of times these businesses do remotes at really stupid hours, like Tuesday from 1 to 2, and it's 1 to 3, or, whatever. And you're like, most people are at work, right? Like, wouldn't it be better to do this like 5 to 6 or on a Saturday? But anyway, so it's like, but with these, people would straight up leave work to do this. This always drew a crowd. And what we did was we went out and we gave out, you reached in and you drew a card. And every time, and we did this like every day of the week for like a month or two. And basically, once you had if you ended up getting five different colors, then you were entered into the main drawing. And we had this one guy. He was very short.
Right.
His wife and daughter were kind of like something was off with the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not even joking. I'm not 100% sure they didn't just kidnap that little girl. Which little girl was sweet as she could be. Like I genuinely enjoyed talking to her. But the wife and the husband were just out there. This dude had a beard. He was like this tall. And I remember at one point he joked something that because our pal Matt was with me. He joked something that turned serious real quick. Something about like get it or I'll have to kick your ass. And I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't joke about kicking my ass when I don't know you. Like, if it's you or it's somebody I'm familiar with, then fine. This is like one of the first times I had met this guy. And I said something, to the effect of, I don't think that'd go too well for you. And then he said, yeah, but when I reach under my shirt, it will.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no shit.
He's talking about pulling his wiener out?
No, I'm pretty sure he was talking about pulling out a gun.
Oh, that's even worse.
To which I told him, I said, man, we must think alike. And I guess now it just comes down to who can reach under their shirt the fastest. And Matt was there the whole time, and he was like, I'm just messing with you. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to lie to you, man. If you threaten me one more time, you're disqualified, and I'll call the police if I see you at any more of our events. I mean, Matt was there. He'll tell you it got really, really standoffish really quick. And he's like, no, I'm just playing with you. This same fucker, I swear on my life. So we did the contest, everywhere. Businesses would pay us like $50, I think, and we would come out and stay there for an hour, which was a damn well worth their $50 because we bring anywhere from 15 to damn 50 people would show up at their business, and that's the ultimate goal was to get people in their doors. And it's like we actually were doing one at the Harley Davidson dealership, and he comes up and he reaches his hand in. And I mean, I swear this was like a Lord Beerus moment on Dragon Ball Z. Like he pulls it up and I noticed he had like 3 of them and was cupping his hand. And I mean, just like a child, I grabbed his hand and turned it up and I was like, you're disqualified. No. I said, dude, you've been to like 5 of these by now. Because the first time with the whole gun thing, that was the first time I met him. But he showed up to every one of these damn things. I'm like, dude, you've been to like 5 of these. You know the rules. You're disqualified. You can't do that. I said, oh, yeah, I can. And I mean, he just all but cried. So I finally was like, all right, look, I'll let you keep 1 of those. I'm putting the other 2 back, and if anything like this happens again, not only will you be disqualified, you won't be allowed at anything we're doing. And I mean, like, he still, though, after all of that, you think this bastard hates me. Every time he'd see me, he'd come over and be like, how you doing, man? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is really awkward considering the first time we met, you threatened to shoot me over a fucking colored card.
You want that Harley, baby? You want that hog between his legs?
Apparently. I'm going to reach in my pants and show you what a man I am. I mean, this dude was tiny, so, I mean, who knew? His wiener probably did hang to his knees, but, I mean, it was probably because he was like 5'0".
And wasn't that event where you met our favorite breakdancing, celebrity audition, celebrity show audition?
Yeah, that dude and his dad were so cool, man. His dad came to all of them, and which he unfortunately just passed away very recently. So rest his soul. His dad was such an awesome dude, man. He was one of those that when he rolled up, I was happy to see it because he would stand there and talk to me, but he wasn't overbearing, and he wasn't crazy. He just wanted to win a motorcycle, but he would just always be nice and how you doing, how's life? And we'd talk about cars and love that guy. And his son's a little eccentric, but he's a good kid, man.
Love him, yeah.
I say kid. I feel like he's old. I think he's older than both of us. Yeah, but his son, man.
Young at heart, though.
Yeah, they had a DJ when we did the final drawing. Because the final drawing, man, you weren't there, were you? When we did? Well, they were probably about close to 100 people in and out, just standing around between employees and contestants and stuff. And we were doing the final drawing, and I'll never forget we had a DJ. And it's like, the DJ wasn't there to make people dance. The DJ was just kind of there to provide music, leading up to it. And an upbeat song comes out, and his son just goes out there and starts breakdancing. I mean, like, he's doing that thing where he's walking around in the circle going, waving his hands, like trying to get people to come on, and nobody freaking moved. He didn't care. He just kept on breakdancing.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, man. It's hard to believe that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
Another interesting Christmas fact is that in the Netherlands, Sinterklaas, the Dutch version of Santa Claus, arrives from Spain, not from the North Pole.
Huh.
And that's not the only different thing about the Dutch Christmas. Sinterklaas has his little helpers, but they're not adorable, hardworking elves. They're black-faced boys and girls who can steal your kids if they misbehave and bring them back to Spain, which is, according to the Dutch, a severe punishment. So no love for Spain from the Dutch.
Jeez. I just imagine that guy from the world's most interesting man, rolling up with a... You say black-faced kids?
Yeah, that's not my words. That's what pastbook.com says.
Kids in blackface?
That doesn't sound
very good.
Like it would work today.
That sounds wrong in a lot of ways.
I get a very Dwight Schrute vibe from that. Remember when he did his version of Santa Claus in The Office?
It is weird, man, that pretty much every society has their own version of Santa, and sometimes he's just super dark.
Oh, yeah, man. Shoot. When you got like Krampus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really... I wonder how many people were traumatized, because when you look back at past cultures from all over the world, there's one constant factor, and that's that they used the fear of being taken away by an evil, scary monster to make kids behave.
Yeah.
Like La Girona, is the weeping woman, and if kids misbehave, she'll come and steal them. I don't think my parents ever told me that. Now, I will say, and when I say this, she was absolutely the best person that's ever been in my entire life. She was an angel. But my nana, my grandma, rest her soul, she used to tell us if we were misbehaving in the back of the van, she would tell us a ghost named Jasper lived back there. Oh, my God. And that if we didn't behave, Jasper would get our feet. Mm-hmm. So, needless to say, if she was like, "What's that, Jasper?" "Yeah, they are being loud, aren't they?" And we'd just shut up and sit down. But it was fun. I mean, I remember it was always in good spirit.
My mom would use Jesus. Like if I cussed, she would say, "Jesus is going to get you, and he's going to send you to hell when you die." Or if the one time I talked about like stealing something from a store, I don't remember what it was. She said, "If you steal, Jesus is going to get you, and he's going to put you in hell." And I was just like, oh my God.
No wonder you reject religion so harshly.
I mean,
in your mind, Jesus was this vengeful spirit that was coming to take you into the night.
He wasn't playing around, man.
Now let me ask you, do you have a Christmas tree up at your house right now?
No, I do not.
Do you normally put one up?
I haven't in the last couple of years, but I generally I would in the past.
I know you've been busy, so I mean, like with me, man, this whole month, it's blowing my mind that Christmas is in 2 days. Mm-hmm. Wow, where did December go, man? So no, I mean, we've got one up, but I mean, I look back and I'm like, geez, man, it's like the other day we put it up. We put it up like right after Thanksgiving, but if you did have a Christmas tree up and you found a spider web in your tree, what would you do? How would you react?
I guess I'd get the vacuum and I'd suck that sucker out.
Well, some people would probably be terrified that now their house is going to be infested with spiders.
Oh, mine already is. So.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's awful.
Like lots of spiders?
Yeah, well, there's like no insulation between the ground and my my floorboards, and like there's like maybe 6 inches of space in some places where the floor is from the ground. So yeah, there's a lot of spiders.
Wow, that makes me. Next time I come to your house, I'm going to be on guard. But you have a lot of cats, so hopefully the cats help kill some of them, right?
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Maybe there's even more than you think, and cats are just fighting relentlessly every day. Like right now, they're in some Dragon Ball Z style combat with the spiders just to defend your home.
It's arachnophobia over there.
Ugh. But apparently in Germany, Poland, and the Ukraine, finding a spider or spider's web on a Christmas tree is actually believed to be a sign of good luck.
Oh.
According to one legend, a spider wove a blanket for baby Jesus. According to the other, a spider web on a Christmas tree turned silver and gold once the sunlight touched it. One way or another, decorating a Christmas tree with artificial spiders and spider webs will inevitably bring you good luck and prosperity. So they actually will put, real and artificial spider webs in a tree. When you think of putting spider web decorations on a tree, you probably think of like a Halloween tree or something. But for them, that's how they decorate the Christmas tree.
That's wild, man. So for them, Jesus almost has like a Peter Parker-esque origin story. Do you think?
Spider wove the blanket that he wore. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Man, do you think like the spider came out of like the Ark of the Covenant or something, and it bit baby Jesus, and that's how he got his powers? Man, you could really do a cool little fanfic there.
I don't know, but now you've got my mind going.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting. Let me ask you. Mm-hmm. How does Santa deliver all those presents in one night?
Well, he flies in the reindeer sled, and he comes down the chimney, and he drinks the milk and eats the cookies and leaves them under the tree.
But, I mean, how does he hit every single house in one night?
I guess he has powers to traverse the space-time continuum.
You're exactly right. According, again, remember, I'm going to make sure I give credit. This is from pastbook.com. Santa stretches time like a rubber band in order to deliver all the gifts in one night. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, there are 2,106 million children under the age of 18 in the world. If we assume that each household has an average of 2.5 children, Santa would have to make 842 million stops on Christmas Eve, traveling 221 million miles. Given the different time zones, Santa has 36 hours to deliver gifts. Therefore, his average speed would be approximately 650 miles per second. It is less than the speed of light. Therefore, it's theoretically doable, but still quite hard for a chubby old man, I'm sure. Larry Silverberg, a professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering at North Carolina State University, suggests that Santa uses relativity clouds to get the work done. Relativity clouds, based on relative physics, allow Santa to stretch time like a rubber band, which gives him months to deliver gifts, while only a few minutes have passed for the rest of us. Whew, I got a little tongue-tied on that one.
So Santa is basically Doctor Who.
In a way, yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, so in this podcast, we've had some startling revelations. Mm-hmm. Jesus could be Spider-Man.
He might be like a Bronze Age Spider-Man, basically.
He has the powers. He could be Spider-Man if he wants. And also Santa is Doctor Who.
Yeah, Santa was in an episode of Doctor Who. Well, they did the yearly Christmas specials until the recent seasons, and there were these face suckers, kind of like from the Alien movies. And Santa helped fight them off. I think Nick Frost played him. Isn't that his name? Maybe it's not Nick.
You talking about from Shaun of the Dead?
From Shaun of the Dead.
I think that is it. Yeah, Nick Frost.
Okay, yeah. He played Santa in a Doctor Who Christmas special with Peter Capaldi.
Oh, that's awesome.
The 12th Doctor. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
It was a good one.
So, how have you and your girlfriend been getting along the last 2 weeks? Been getting along good?
I mean, pretty much. When she's at home, I'm at work, and vice versa. So we're just kind of two, ships passing in the night.
Well, apparently 2 weeks before Christmas is one of the most popular times for couples to break up.
Oh, my gosh, no.
According to data analyzed from Facebook posts and statuses, couples are more likely to end their relationship 2 weeks before Christmas and 2 weeks after Valentine's Day during the spring break. Christmas Day, however, is the least favored day for breakups. Imagine that.
Oh, when she sees the shitty gifts I got her this year, it might just happen. So we will see. I will keep you posted.
Now, let me tell you something that sounds like it's straight out the South.
Uh-oh.
All right, so if I was to ask you what group of people traditionally eat at KFC for Christmas, what would you think?
I'm kind of afraid to say.
Where we are now?
Yeah.
Like the South, you would think, right? We love our fried chicken, and you would definitely know some people who I don't think would hesitate to spend their Christmas, dinner at. Apparently, though, it's Japanese people.
Is that right?
Although the percentage of Christian people in Japan is close to zero. What? Oh, wow. Every Christmas, kids and grown-ups head to the closest KFC to enjoy some fried chicken, the closest food to turkey that you can get in Japan.
Oh, man.
It's all thanks to a successful Kentucky for Christmas marketing campaign in 1947. First aimed at foreigners, KFC offered a Christmas dinner that contained chicken and wine. What? Well, you can't get wine there now. Huh. A meal that remotely resembled the food expats and tourists had. What? After a huge success, KFC started promoting this offer every year until the fast food chain became strongly associated with the holiday season. Now, good for KFC and good for the folks in Japan, but when I think of Christmas, I certainly don't think of KFC.
No, I really don't think it. We never really do turkey at Christmas. We have like ham. Maybe we'll switch it up sometimes and do like a big like rib roast or something. But like turkey's Thanksgiving, and after that we're turkeyed out.
We do turkey on both, but I'm not gonna lie, man. And I mean, my family can my family and my girlfriend's family can both cook their asses off. But not many people can fix turkey in a way that I like. Most people fix it so damn dry. Like I like turkey, like turkey breast is actually my favorite deli meat. Like if I'm gonna make a sandwich and get sandwich meat, I love like oven roasted turkey breast, followed only by like chicken.
Right.
But but it's weird. But like on a sandwich, I don't really care for ham. However, when it comes to like just the meat, I much prefer ham than turkey because my great grandmother could fix it in a way that it was juicy and tender and had tons of flavor. But nobody else really does that. It's just dry, flaky, and flavorless.
As long as I can drown it in gravy, I'm down. I'm good to go.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that.
No, I got to do it every time.
Here's something I want people to listen to very closely.
Okay.
Very closely. All right. Because this is like, talking about the spread of misinformation. This is one that I've known for a while, but then people just act like no way. So you hear the people, and there's nothing wrong with it when there's people that have the impression that if you put Xmas, you're taking Christ out of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And they just get very defensive over it. However, the X in Xmas does not take Christ out of Christmas at all. Xmas is a common abbreviation for the word Christmas. However, some people think that this spelling isn't right because, obviously what we said, it takes Christ out of Christmas. But don't worry, no one's taking the Christ anywhere. In the Greek alphabet, the letter X, chi, is the first letter of the Greek word for Christ of charitos. So the X actually is Greek for Christ.
Yeah, I learned that in a Catholic school growing up.
So Xmas, if somebody writes Xmas, don't just gasp and assume they're an atheist heathen. Which, I'm not saying if you're an atheist, you're a heathen by any means. But I'm just saying, that's kind of the thought process is, they don't believe in God. And it's like, actually, no. And then, two, if you're writing in a hurry, Xmas is very convenient.
Maybe some people celebrate Professor X on Christmas.
I've always thought about Professor X when I see a Xmas.
Yeah.
Like our generation, I think that grew up with like the X-Men cartoon. Mm-hmm. I think X-Men.
Yeah, that's what
I know they've had to have used that. Merry Xmas.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's been on a bunch of comic covers.
Let's see. The first artificial Christmas tree wasn't a tree at all. It was created out of goose feathers that were dyed green. Ew. And that was in Germany in the 19th century due to a major continuous because of so much deforestation. They, I guess, had to.
That'll do it.
One of the faults of humanity. We see a nice plot of woods and we're like, hey, that looks beautiful. Let's destroy it. Mm-hmm. The feather trees became increasingly popular during the early 20th century and finally made their way to the U.S. Oh. Here's another kind of disturbing fact. Iceland has 13 Santas. That's how Santa gets it done. He divides the labor up 13 ways. And an old lady who kidnaps children. So basically what you got is Christmas in Iceland is a colorful fusion of religion, fairy tales, and folklore. Instead of one Santa, the kids are visited by 13 Yule lads that either... Yule lad! Let's go! That either reward children for good behavior or punish them if they were naughty. The holiday period begins 13 days before Christmas, and each day one of the 13 Yule lads comes to the house and fills the shoes that the kids leave under the Christmas tree, either with sweets and small gifts or rotting potatoes, depending on how that particular child has behaved the preceding day. The mother of Yule lads, half troll, half beast, horrifying old woman Gryla, kidnaps naughty kids and boils them in her cauldron. No. Can you imagine if you were that? You know how people get super dedicated to the elf on the shelf? What if you were super dedicated to that and like just drug your kid out their bed wearing this terrifying costume and took them outside and threw them in this cauldron? You'd scar your child for life.
I mean, you might like kill them. They might be dead.
Well, I wouldn't actually. In this scenario, I'm not imagining you actually boil them. I'm just saying like you have a cauldron, so they, like, no, you throw them in and they think it's the end, and then you're like, are you going to behave?
Man, what's even more frightening to me, have you ever grabbed hold to a really, really rotten potato? It's disgusting.
No, I haven't.
I like working produce for, it's gross. It's gross, and it stinks horribly.
I have had, we had a bag of potatoes at my house that we forgot that we had. Have you ever had them where they sit long enough, they start sprouting?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. It's like some alien... It weirds me out, man. I mean, they're just potatoes, but it just really weirds me out.
Potatoes are strange, but they're delicious.
They can be, absolutely. And finally, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard the old legend that at midnight on Christmas Eve, or I guess midnight Christmas, animals bow?
No, I haven't heard that.
That was something I think my grandma told me. It was just like animals showing respect for Christ. But anyways, in Germany, Heiligabend, or Christmas Eve, is said to be a magical time when the pure at heart can hear animals talking. They can also see that rivers turn into wine, Christmas tree blossoms bear fruit, mountains open, revealing gems hidden inside, and bell ringing can be heard from the bottom of the sea.
All right, that's definitely a tradition based in like psychedelic experiences. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and the thing about that one is that I guess everyone was walking around thinking, damn, why am I not pure of heart?
Right.
I've tried everything. Yeah. I've fed the needy. I've encouraged people. I've been there. I've donated all my money. Why the hell can't I hear the animals talk? Like, I just imagine somebody shaking a goat. Talk to me. But yeah, so some interesting Christmas facts there. I certainly learned some stuff.
Yeah, wild, weird stuff.
But I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah.
That's about it.
Merry Christmas from all of us. And we'll see you soon.
We sure will.
Bye-bye.